Hey everybody, hope you all had a good week so far. I actually just recorded one of these videos and realized somehow the mic wasn't on, and so I'm gonna have to redo this entire video. But good news is that basically on Sunday I covered pretty much everything whenever it relates to altcoins. I will go over some meme coins and kind of some future investments. Whenever on this video, I'm just covering, I'm kind of beating a dead horse whenever it comes to altcoins, so I do have a little bit of different content for you today. Whenever it comes to BTC, we could bounce from where we're at now. The shorts are getting, so like for example, somebody might have a stop loss right under this and it's breaking this, so they buy back in, and then it breaks it again, they sell out of their position. Sometimes it bounces from there as well, but you can continue to do this for a while. At least we have in the past. Just a new low, like right over here, new low, deeper low, and then you start to change the trend. Over here you have a low, a new low, and then you have a big move to the upside, a low, and then a big move to the upside. So it's just a way to confuse a lot of the traders here. Nothing has really changed. Either we enter this box or we kind of go sideways. October is going to be a major pivotal point whenever it comes to BTC. If you look from April, what was that? October to October. So that gives you a year, right? I think in the last two cycles we've bottomed out a year later. So 122, let's actually go to the daily. Make this a little bit easier. So roughly about a year, 365, we bottom out. Okay, even over here, at least in the last two cycles, it took a year. 361, 363. So most likely a year from where we topped, we're going to bottom, which is sometime in October, right? We've kind of covered that. Again, we could just kind of go sideways here and then bottom in October, but then have another bottom down there, just consolidate longer. But time's going to tell. 3-day looks pretty bad, right? You're crossing to the downside on the stochastic RSI, and you're probably going to confirm that in the next 2 days. The weekly also doesn't look great, right? You're probably going to confirm a red histogram unless we get some green price action, which means that more sideways or down consolidation or price action. So we're just waiting on that. One thing that we can look at is some of the meme coins. So meme coins are things that typically go up whenever the cycle bottoms out, and you can make some money on them if you're careful and you buy early enough. Now those are going to be some of the ones that we look at. We can look at PayPay. So PayPay is one that we bought back around here. I think we made 400 or 500%, sold somewhere up here, and now the price is coming back down to probably where we buy. bought it to begin with. So that might be something that we entertain around this price action, maybe a little bit lower. We'll see. I'm going to look at the volume whenever we get down to that point. But right here would be the first level of interest. There is something going on with my price on this. I would probably just ignore the price for right now. There's something going on with my chart here that's just not. It's just not calculating right. I don't really know what's going on or how to change it, so I'll get that figured out later. What's the other one? Let me look at BUM. This is one we did buy a while back. We should be down on this one. I think we bought somewhere up here, explaining that this is a very high risk trade. It was late in the meme coins, so I just bought one large order. But this is something I would be potentially interested in buying later on down the line. You do have a low volume pullback. Probably wait till October. However, this could bounce from where it's at. It's still just high risk. But what we could do is, for example, if you put 1,000, or depending on your capital, right? Putting 1,000 to 10,000 in 5 different meme coins, you can earn 1,000% on just one of them and knock out. You can lose money on the next 4 and still make 100% profit, and that's like it wouldn't be difficult to make 1,000% on 1 out of 5 meme tokens. So that's something that we did in the last cycle. We had the 10 for 10. We made, I think, 2,000% trades out of maybe 8 or 10 trades. So it kind of made out for making profit on some of those if you didn't end up selling. So that's something I'd consider doing again, maybe with a few meme coins. Meme coins are very, very high risk, but if you buy at the right time, you can make quite a bit of money. Like Pepe, for example, we sold that one at 500%, and then we put it into XRP and some other tokens. And if you made 500% on that, and then you made 500% on XRP, you made 2,500% total in the trade. So that's something that we'll probably do again. I don't know if I'll look at, I don't know which token I'm going to look at yet, or which one I would put my money in. SHIB is another one. SHIB is one that we bought over here. We traded up here, 20%, I believe, of the trade, and then rebought back in, sold again 20% or 30%, and then we ended up riding this back down. I think I don't remember if we bought any more down here, but we sold the exact top of this move right here, and we're completely out of SHIB. Now SHIB has made a new low, so if you're holding from when we first bought this, you're down on your position. And one thing that you really want to ask yourself is, were you able to sell this token up here? Or were you able to sell here, or are you still holding? If you're still holding this position and you have a hard time pressing the sell button, that's something that's got to change. Otherwise, you're going to continue to like your emotions, right? The more you get, the better you get at this trading deal. It'll be easier long term. But when something is going this parabolic, it's very difficult to sell. And that's a lot of what people run into. They don't know if it's going to go higher. They don't know how to trade in general. But even me, it's difficult to get out unless I see things really, really aligning up. And I bet very few people sold this where we sold this. Very few people around the world. A lot of people are still probably just holding this. So technical analysis does work. It just takes a lot of work to learn how to kind of do it. But SHIB might be something that I'll buy. There is some support down here, so there's a potential that we go down there. We could stay within this pattern, but October is going to kind of tell us more about it. I'll look at the volume. If we have a low volume pullback, I might buy some more. But SHIB again could just only come up to this level up here in the whole entire cycle. Another one is Floki. Floki. I swear there's more data on this one. This has been around for a while. I don't know why. Bitstamp. No. Coinbase definitely doesn't have. Yeah. Oh, well, that's weird. This is one that I wanted to buy down here. I just didn't end up buying it. Actually forgot about it, but that did have a 14,000% or 4,000% rise. It's now down probably at 80%. Could come all the way back down to base level here. It could break base level. We'll kind of just look at this in October, but it did not make a new all-time high. So you could have some sort of a pattern creating itself right there. It could come all the way back up here. It doesn't have to go all the way up there. But this might be one that we can look at when we approach the bottom here towards the end of the year. Ladies was another one that we bought. And sold. We bought this one, I think, right here, and then sold it up here at like maybe 100% profit. It wasn't a whole lot. But again, it was a swing trade, and if you didn't get out right, you're down on your money. Okay, most people that bought this is probably down on their money currently. That's just how these meme coins play out. A lot of them will get delisted. So when meme coins are hot, you want to just be in them and out. The only one that I would stay in really would be Dogecoin, just because it's been around so long. It should always kind of stick around. Now, if you want to look at well, we'll come back to the historical snapshots in a second. You can always try to find on CoinMarketCap, you can always go to categories, and then you can go to you have all different types here, right? You've got gaming tokens, you've got meme tokens, you've got DePIN, DeFi, and then memes, right? What you probably want to do is consider investing in maybe the top 10 meme coins at the bottom of the cycle. You want to look at the chart and then kind of decide which one you want to get from that point. There's also another way that you can do it. You can click volume here and then do it by the top 10 in volume. Most of the time they're probably going to be about the same tokens that are listed, but you might find one that is out of the ordinary. And look at the chart and then decide if that's one that you want to purchase. Okay, another thing that CoinMarketCap can do, you can go to home. You can look at, we're in extreme fear right now, so that's a good thing for crypto, right? You want to be buying the blood in the streets. However, we do have a little more knowledge about where BTC should start turning around. So that's why, basically why I'm waiting. It tells you the market cap of everything in the market. It's only a $2 trillion market. Another thing that you can do, you can look at the crypto ETFs, and then you can go to historical snapshots. Now, in the last video that I did, I was trying to prove a point here that you can just invest in the top 10 cryptocurrencies, and you would have made out really, really well here. There's only XRP, Litecoin, and Bitcoin, but the amount of money that you would have made on all three of those you could have lost money on the other 7, and you still would have been in significant profit. Okay, so diversification is important, and you're going to lose money on some of them, but it really only takes one to a couple different cryptos to make it out. Okay, you just don't want to sell those too early. So you're always weighing your options here. Okay, so 2013 was great to do that in. So was 2000 and probably 2000. Let's look at 2000 and definitely 2015. Let's look at 2017. Yep, still really good to do that then. Same situation here. You'd still be up significantly on quite a few of these tokens. Okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin. Litecoin was only $4. It's at 40 right now. Monero and Ethereum Classic, I'm not too sure what the prices are those right now, or Dash, but you still would have made out just on these. Ethereum was $11. Okay, as time goes on, it doesn't work. It takes a lot more time to outweigh, like for example Ethereum. Let's look at 2020 February. Ethereum was still at 188, so you still would have done good there. You still would have done good on Bitcoin. XRP is only like a 3x from there. Bitcoin Cash is technically down. These Bitcoin SV, I think, is probably really down. Litecoin is down. Binance Coin is up quite a bit, and Cardano is down. But if you still would have invested in just those 10 tokens, you would have done really, really well. Okay, now it does change in this last cycle. That was 2020. So 2020, maybe look at 2022, 23 maybe. Right, Ethereum, you're breaking even. BNB is still up 100%. Bitcoin's still up quite a bit. XRP is still up quite a bit. Cardano is down. Dogecoin is even. Solana's actually up. And I can't remember if this is up. SHIB's it is down. Polkadot's down. So you still would have made out pretty well if you would have done that here as well. Right. So investing in the top 10 cryptocurrencies can be beneficial, but the longer in time, the more beneficial. Okay, the longer you wait, right? Now, investing in tokens that are in the way down here, you want to just be more careful. Okay, you need to do a little bit more research. You need to look at the charts a little bit more. Internet Computer's down from where it was, right? We were buying around this price. Algo is, Hedera is a little bit up. Theta's down. So the lower down on this list you get, the higher the risk for your return on investment. Top 10, probably a decent thing to buy. So that's something cool that CoinMarketCap can do. You can look at that yourself. Imagine all the people were probably freaking out around this time because Ethereum was down 50% or so. BNB was down probably significantly 50% or so, but it went up to 1200, right? So your emotions are going to play out the same each cycle. But if you would have bought at low prices, you'd be up today. And we did buy a lot of these around this price. So this cycle is definitely just a corrective cycle, unfortunately. Other than that, guys, I really don't have much else to cover. Last Sunday's video was pretty much covers the altcoins. I just want to do a little bit of a different video to give you some more value and something else that we can look at down the line and kind of the plan for the future. And we shouldn't have another ABC correction this next year or this next cycle. But if Ethereum hasn't broken its new all-time high in the next 3.5 years, if it's still struggling, then that's another big problem. But I really don't expect that. I think it's just going to be this one corrective cycle and then a big move in the next cycle to the upside. So probably bringing Ethereum up to 8,000 to this next fib level. So I hope you guys have a good week. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out. I'm always there to help. And if you have any questions on any indicators or any tokens, reach out as well. So I hope y'all have a good week, and I will talk to y'all on Sunday.